everybody. This is Jan of Jan Hicks Creates here, and I'm coming at you from a little bit different of a position here in the RV because I have a husband who's working from home now, and he's back at the big table. So, another couple of weeks in here, and then as I said to my friend Anne, I'll be in a house with walls and rooms. Lots of rooms and lots of walls. 2 weeks from today we close, and I can't wait. But 2 weeks, yeah, so here we are. I hope you guys are doing well. I am, almost giddy with all the things going through my brain, so I don't know that there will be any coherency on this video. I don't know if there will be any flow to it. I don't know whether there's any flow normally to my videos, but I do have some notes. I do have piles around me. I do have some things planned. So let's see what happens. I hope you enjoyed the videos at the beginning. Grand Teton National Park, and the drive over there. That was our first weekend here, and it was spectacular. So our first weekend here was actually Labor Day weekend here in the US. And Mike, because of his work schedule, he works, I'm not going to get the numbers right, 9 days of 40 hours. Well, 8 days of 40 hours, or 8 days of 9-hour days, and then a day of 8-hour days, so that he gets every other Friday off. So Labor Day weekend, he had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So on possibly Friday, possibly Saturday, I don't remember, we went over to Grand Teton. So I put some videos on the front, on the beginning of that, and then on Monday we went up to an area called Island Park, which is north of us here in Idaho Falls. And I don't remember if it's a state or county park, but it's it's like a reservoir and just a gorgeous area. So we explored that a little bit. And then this past weekend we didn't do a whole lot, but we did go down to the Japanese Friendship Garden that is located in a little island on the Snake River, just down here in Idaho Falls. Just a beautiful, peaceful little place. Now, I've just included in this video tiny snippets of all of the videos and pictures I have taken. I am resurrecting our Sunsets and Sangria channel. That's kind of our travel diary channel. I did some things from Hawaii there, but I haven't posted anything in that for a couple years. So I did post yesterday the little bit from the Japanese Friendship Garden. That's like an under 3-minute video. The other ones are going to take longer to upload and edit, but those videos on the Sunsets and Sangria channel. I'm not doing a whole lot of fancy stuff on them. Not that I do a whole lot of fancy stuff here either, but I'm trying to keep that pretty straightforward so it doesn't suck up a huge amount of time. But it is a place, I'm taking all these videos, I need to put them someplace. So I'm compiling them and putting them on there. I also have all the videos from Big Bend that I need to put on there. So, yeah. If you want to see more of our travels than what I'm putting in the front of these videos, then I suggest you hop over to Sunsets and Sangria, and hopefully I will remember to put a link below for the channel so you can find it easily. But anyways, yeah, I feel like I'm rambling already. So let's see. 2 weeks from today we close. We will move in on the 1st. The weekend after that is the Trailing of the Sheep Festival over in Sun Valley, Idaho. So that's about 2.5 hours west of us. We've got reservations at a campground in Twin Falls. We'll get in that Friday the 8th, I believe it is. We're going to spend Friday, the rest of that day, just hanging out in Twin Falls, looking at the Shoshone Falls, doing some, interesting things in that area. And then Saturday and Sunday, we'll be going up to it's Haley and Ketchum, where the Trailing of the Sheep Festival is. It's been a while since I've been to a sheep and wool festival, and this is by no means the type of sheep and wool festival like Maryland Sheep and Wool and Rhinebeck in New York that I absolutely adore, but it's going to be so much fun. So this festival celebrates the tradition of the sheep herders bringing the sheep down from the highlands, from the mountains, back into their ranches for the winter. So they actually, on Sunday, they will actually be bringing the sheep through the streets of Ketchum. And I just can't wait to see that. The other part of this festival that I'm really looking forward to, I believe, if I remember correctly, takes place in Haley, Idaho, and it is the Folklife Festival. So the origins, or I guess the original sheep herders in this area were Scottish Highlanders, were the Basque people from Spain, and were the Peruvian sheep herders. So they, through various times, emigrated here and took up the tradition here. So the Folklife Festival, part of that, as well as vendors and food and all that fun stuff, arts and crafts, is groups celebrating the traditions of those three cultures. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. So of course, lots of videos and pictures from that in a couple weeks. Can't wait. Let's see. So once we move out of the RV and get into the house, we are planning on selling it. We'll get it all, everything out of it, get it all cleaned up, and then we are going to sell it. Part of it is that we feel we're done with it. But also any traveling that we do from here on out, we're not going to be using it. We're going to be in our little pop-up trailer with, you know, towed behind the Subaru. So this basically is just going to be sitting, which is never good for an RV. And we're just going to be paying money on it that we could be using otherwise, especially being in a house with tons of plants. My plans for the backyard of our new house are going to look like my meditation, are going to look like my meditation garden design. Just can't wait. Can't wait to get my hands in the dirt again. All right, so that's what's going on here. Let's see. Another thing that I wanted to mention real quick that I'm excited about. I am in the process of buying another antique sampler, another one that I found on Facebook Marketplace. I sent the check off to the seller yesterday. She lives in Michigan, so once she gets the check, she will be sending that to me. In the process of all of this, and you remember that other sampler that I had bought from Facebook Marketplace, it was actually from an antique store in San Antonio. I have not taken that out of the frame yet. As I get closer to the end of stitching the model for my sewing box sampler, which I will be showing you here in a minute, I'm thinking more and more about the process of what I need to do to get that out of the frame and start charting it. That one I think is more fragile. It is under glass, so I'm worried about it. So anyways, I contacted the director of curation and collections at the Museum of Idaho here in Idaho Falls to see if she could point me towards anybody who is familiar with conservation of antique samplers here in this area. And she says she's the only one that she's aware of. So she invited me to meet with her to look at the sampler, to give me any tips that might help. She says they do have a couple of antique samplers in their collection here at the museum. They are not currently on display. I am hoping that we can get a look at them. I say we because I did invite Wendy Petros to, and Wendy, if I'm mispronouncing your name, correct me. I'm not sure. Petros, from the Heart Needle Arts by Wendy. Lives here in Idaho Falls as well. So I've invited her along. And I do hope, if the director is comfortable with it, I do hope to do a video of our get-together and record all that for you. So I'm very excited about that. And I do hope I get to see the samplers that she has here, because I don't know that, assuming they're from this greater area, right, the Idaho area, I don't know that I've ever seen a sampler from this area. So stay tuned for that. I'm very excited about that. All right, stitching. Let's see, like I said, I think I'm going to be all over the place, but yeah, we'll get to stitching now. What a concept. Stitching and knitting. First, I want to say I'm celebrating a year of collaborating with Fat Quarter Shop on designs using their like floss packs. So we started, if you might remember, with Cosmo Floss. And I started that with I have them piled up here next to me because I'm going to show them off again. I started with my Thankful design. So this is from last fall. Cosmo Floss. All of these designs are still available at Fat Quarter Shop as PDFs, as well as the floss packs if you're interested in getting them. And of course, they are also on my website and on Etsy. But there's Thankful. That is the first one that I did with them. I can't believe it's been a year. When you look back, time really does fly, right? The next one is my winter one, Winter Cottages. Again, Cosmo Floss. And again, the floss pack is still available at Fat Quarter Shop. And I will try to remember to link all these below if anybody's interested. How that turned out. The next one is The Earth Laughs in Flowers. The Earth Laughs. This again is Cosmo. And again, available. Floss pack is available. So this was the spring one. And then last but not least, we switched from Cosmo to, let me get out my little board here, from Cosmo to NPI, Needlepoint Ink Silks, because the Cosmo Floss coming from Japan, I mean, they still carry it and they're still designing with it at Fat Quarter Shop, but it was just getting harder and harder. I was having to wait a long time. Kind of throws my schedule off, you know, for what schedule I actually have. I don't really have any deadlines except in my head, but you know, those count for something. So this is the first one with NPI Floss. We decided to switch over to NPI Floss. So this is the one that I put out in the summer. And I am getting ready to work on the model for my next fall one. So we've come full way around in the year and I'm ready to start stitching another fall one. The floss, the NPI silk, should be getting delivered today, I believe. I won't be starting to stitch on that though until I get this sewing box sampler done, because that is where all of my attention, well, most of my attention is devoted these days. So let me show you where I am with that. Yes, there is a lot of backlighting in this position, but I think you can see this kind of fits it perfectly. So I did roll up the scroll rods and I'm working on the bottom. Still have to roll them up a little bit more. This, the Bargello Florentine stitch over here on this side over here, is absolutely amazing. It does take a long time, but it is so worth it. So I'm stitching this on 46 count winter white linen by Seraphim Fabrics and using Vicky Clayton silks. So she will have the silk pack available when this is finished. But I am really loving how this is turning out. So you can see down here, one of you, and I need you to tell me who, because I didn't note it down, and I'm sorry for that. But one of you I think, like when I first showed this, when I first started working on it, you suggested that in the blank space that was down here on the original sampler, I put from the sewing box of. So that is what I charted. So you can see sewing box of, and the last part of my last name, 2021, I have stitched in there. Now, as I was stitching this last night, I was thinking, oh, and this will be charted in DMC as well. As I was stitching this last night, I was thinking, I used, for my name, I used this alphabet, and it is one of the bigger ones. There's a lot of you out there that have names that are much bigger than mine, right? So I'm going to, I am going to suggest when I write up the pattern that you might want to chart out one of the different alphabets if your name is longer. You might not want to put from the sewing box of if you need more room. So there's going to be ways to adapt this if you need more room for your name. And I will, you know, talk about all of that in the instructions in the pattern. I hope to get done. I would like to say that I'll get the stitching done on this next week. I think that's a possibility. We'll be close. The like I said, that Florentine border does it takes a lot of time. Totally worth it, but it takes a lot of time. My goal was to, again, deadlines, right? Deadlines in my head. My goal was to have this done before we move, so that it's not sitting waiting, because once, of course, the moving starts happening, most of my attention during the day is going to be on getting stuff unpacked. Let's see, if I can get this done, the stitching done next week, that will give me the following week to write up the instructions. And the instructions for this are going to be much more intense, of course, than the instructions for my other patterns, because there's no specialty stitches so far in my other patterns. There's specialty stitches in this that I need to graph out and explain. I am going to have a video supporting it as well. So I'll have to get all that done and organized and into a PDF. So yeah, wish me luck. Other stuff I've been working on though. When I need a break from the intensity of the sewing box sampler, and part of it is working on a frame. I am using the Hope stand from Bonnie Hope's husband. You can look up that on the Facebook group Cross Stitch and Needlework Frames, I believe it's called. Anyways, as most of you know, I usually stitch in hand, so when I'm working on the frame, there's more strange positioning with my shoulders that I'm not used to, so I do have to take some breaks from that periodically. So other things have got stitched on, one of which is Kaleidoscope from Fat Quarter Shop. I'm almost done. Oh, this is so pretty. Whoops, there went hoity-toity. Oh, it's going to be covered in fur now. Oh, as well as Stitch-o-graphy. Oh, so much fur. All right, Kaleidoscope, almost done. So I was finishing up my stitching last night. I was like, yeah, I can get that done. I just have this little bit to do. But then I was like, oh, wait, there's a blank spot in there. What happened there? That little diamond has to go in there, so I have to get my green thread out again. So annoying. But yeah, I will get this done tonight. How cool is that? I love that. So, Kaleidoscope, Fat Quarter Shop from the Kaleidoscope Quilt Book. Love, love, love. That will go over there. All right, the poor little things that fell on the floor. Let's see how much fur is on them. Nina's like, what? You love me. What's the big deal? I do love her. But there's so much fur. God. You know, cleaning this thing and trying to get all the fur out for the next owner, it's going to be impossible. Stitch-o-graphy, Fat Quarter Shop. This is the stitch-along that is currently going on. So this was the week of September 15th over here, I believe. I still have some big X's to do. Oh, and I need to take this out. Look, I forgot the A. I got it all done. I was like, wait a second, that doesn't look right. So yeah, and then there's X's here that are in, let me see. Oh, the color of my heart. Remember I mentioned the heart the last time? I didn't like it in the dark color. It was supposed to be, with my conversion, it was supposed to be in this dark blue. I decided I like that green much better. But anyways, I have to pull out more of that green to work this and, of course, the rest of this piece. But I'm loving it. I'm loving my conversion. 36 count milk and sugar. Is that the right name? I believe so. Fiber on a Whim fabric. This is from Fat Quarter Shop as well. Love it, love it, love it. Just DMC colors. I think I noted all the colors in my last video, so if you're interested in the conversion, you can check that out. Eventually, I will get, once I get it ironed and pretty pictures taken of it, I will put it up on my website on the conversions page. Hoity-toity, also now covered in fur. So this I've been working on a little bit on Sundays. Not as much as I would like, but better than nothing. Hoity-toity again in my color conversion. And my conversion for this is on my conversion page on my website, Mad for Yarn. So I got that done and that light pink done in other places down here. It just comes alive. You know, I love doing the outlining first of the dark blue and then filling in with all of these colors. I think I did that. Maybe not, I don't remember. But anyways, I love to see it come alive with all the different colors. Hoity-toity by Long Dog Samplers. This is stitched on 36 count mystery linen that I've had for years and years with a variety of overdyes. Kind of, some of them are the called for, some of them are my own. I pinked things up that were more orange than I wanted things to be. Some of them are, you know, your General Arts, Weeks Dye, all of that, and some are Victorian motto. So I would still like to finish this by year's end. I don't know. Especially with moving into a house. Have I mentioned I'm moving into a house? I might have mentioned that, huh? All right. The other thing that I'm touching just here and there is Narnia. This is also on the milk and sugar, cream and sugar. I don't remember Fiber on the Whims fabric, 36 count, using Mrs. Sadis's silks in Oxide and Midnight. So I got to work on that square next to that nice flourish thing there. A little bit here, a little bit there, it'll get done. 36 count, 1 strand of the silk. Works perfectly for me. All right. So I did get some goodies this week. I had mentioned, again, Wendy Petros from the Heart Fiber, or from the Art. Why do I have such a hard time? From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. I mentioned I had ordered some of her new patterns. I picked them up and I couldn't resist starting. I had asked Vicki Clayton to do a conversion to her silks for this, which she did. I got those in the mail and I was like, oh yeah, we need to start this. I am stitching this on 36 count Mocha by Weeks Dye Works that I had in my stash. And I just got a little bit, I'm starting in the middle. So I just got a little bit of this alphabet here done. Now, the interesting thing about Vicki Silks, and they are just, at this point, let me move that out of the way. At this point, they are all just in a bag, in a Ziploc bag. Because I know I have other project bags, but they are in here. So once we get into the house, this will get more organized. So she based her conversion on the DMC, which is fine. But I wanted, you know, the stitching that Wendy did, the models, is the Gloriana silks, and the Gloriana silks do have a lot of variegation. So she also provided in her chart the Classic Colorworks conversion as well as the DMC conversion. As you guys probably know, I like more of the tonal, the things that change color, that give it more depth. So what I did was took Vicki Silks, I bought the DMC conversion, and then I got all of the different variegated packs that I've gotten from her over the months and tried to find ones that were close. So that's where my conversion comes from. So that is what's piled in here. The half of these are the DMC conversion from Vicki, and half are my conversions of her conversion to her more variegated flosses. And I have it all written down here. And I have to say, some of them, like what Wendy chose for the DMC, I don't think really corresponded well to what I'm seeing on the picture. Of course, we know that pictures aren't necessarily accurate, but I looked online at the Gloriana and I looked at what she chose for the DMC, and I kind of tried to find things that were closer to what I could see from the Gloriana silks. So there was a lot of time and efforts put into, and then of course I only have a certain number of Vicki's variegateds anyways. So yeah, there was a lot of time and effort put into this conversion, but I love it so far on the mocha. I am using 2 strands of Vicki silks on the 36 count because I think I've mentioned before, I think Vicki silks are just a little bit finer than the DMC 1 strand. And where I usually use 1 strand on 36 count, I felt the two strand coverage, the 1 strand coverage just I wasn't happy with it. So I took it out and changed it to the 2 strand. And it's very rich and full looking. Vicki just sent out invoiced me today and sent out, although I printed the packing, the shipping slip, I'm sure, the next packet of variegated flosses. So this will be the 2nd month of her conversion of the General Arts Weeks Dye Works types of flosses. So looking forward to getting that. I might change out some of these with some of those. You never know. All right. That is all the stitching. I did do some knitting again this week. I have piles that I have to remember. Let me look at my notes here real quick. Okay. So what I was knitting before I did the Nights That Say Knee shawl was the Wilson Ruana by my friend Kat in Sarasota. So if you remember, this was the piece that had the 2 front pieces. It's going to go over my neck like this and then comes down in the back. So I joined those 2 pieces there at the neck, did some shaping at the neck and joined them, and I am now knitting down what will be the back. So I've just started that, just on my first repeat of that lace stitch. So it will be as long. It's 13 repeats of the lace stitch going down. And yeah, again, hard to see how gorgeous it's going to be until after it's blocked. But that gives you an idea once you open it up. Of what that lace pattern looks like. Wilson Ruana, I will link it below. The pictures that Kat has on her Ravelry page are just stupendous, just gorgeous. Kat is a gorgeous woman to begin with. The photographer she uses is phenomenal. So that combination means that the pictures are amazing. So anyways, I work on this I'd like to get to it at least a half hour or an hour a day. It's more like a half hour or an hour every 2 or 3 days. Slowly but surely it'll get done. And eventually I will be reunited with all of my other whips with the knitting and stitching. Oh, can't wait. Did I mention that we're moving into a house soon? I know. Okay, so I have other goodies to share, but first we're going to do something kind of special. Okay, so now it's time for everybody's favorite segment, Let's Go Shopping. Today's Let's Go Shopping, though, is going to be a little different in that it is sponsored. So I was thrilled last week when Basha Cooler of Cooler Designs reached out to me and wanted to do a collaboration. So it's like, well, heck yeah, that's a no-brainer. So what we're doing is we're going to look through some of the designs on Cooler Design Studio. Now, I'm sure there are a lot of you out there that are familiar with Cooler Designs and their design work. They've been around for, I think Basha said 40 years, so they've been around for a while. Her website, coolerdesign.com, and I will link it below, carries designs, not only their own Cooler Designs, but also from well-known designers like Nancy Rossi and, oh goodness, my mind just went blank. There's a ton of the designs, though, that have been in the magazines from the past, and they are now available on the Cooler Design Studio. She has not only cross-stitch, she has needlepoint, she has stamped, she has embroidery, she has kits, she has paper patterns, but she also has PDFs. I mean, a wide range of products here. The collaboration part of it is that she is offering 10% off all orders from now through the end of September. So through close of business, well, end of the day, so I assume midnight, September 30th. So let's get started. I will say at the beginning that she did send me, well, she asked me if I was interested in any of her designs she would like to offer to me. And I was like, oh my goodness, how do I narrow it down, right? If you remember the floral bell pull that I was working on that had come from, I believe, a Just Cross Stitch magazine from maybe 2002. It's been a while, I don't remember. That is available as a PDF on the website, and I will try to remember to search it out. But I will also show you what else she sent me. Now, I do not have my overhead clamp. I have a new one on order, so I am going to turn you around and we're going to look at it together. All right, so Cooler Design Studios, this is her website. And you can see over here all the different categories. And like I said, she does have print charts and she does have downloads, PDFs. What I got is the PDFs. So let us look at, oh, and this is all the different, she carries books too. So lots and lots and lots to look at here. You can see she has a note here that their PDFs are now compatible with Pattern Keeper, which of course I think is an awesome, awesome thing. All right, so chart downloads by subject. We're gonna look at it this way. You can see the main topics here. Oh goodness, where do we even start? Let's start at samplers. You are going to see ones that look very familiar to you. Like I said, many of these have been in magazines in the past. Some of the ones that I had a hard time choosing are these ones. Cat samplers, these are Nancy Rossi in all the seasons. That one reminds me of Sasha, so that I may have to get at some point here. That is not one of the ones I picked. I'm gonna move you down a little bit here and see that she has them in all the different seasons, and they are just lovely. This one you will recognize, I'm sure. This is a very popular one that was in Cross Stitch and Country Needleworks from years ago. It's now on the site. Sandy Orton, that's the other name I was trying to remember. A very, very well-known designer from years past. Another really cool beehive one. Another Sandy Orton. You've seen different people doing the seasonal ones. I'll try and point it out when we get to one because I know a lot of people have stitched them and are stitching them. This is one that's Christmas. I mean, you can see there's just everything you can imagine. Now, as I said, these are fishing ones, or fishing ones. I'm seeing the word fishing here and I'm saying it. These are PDFs. So this is the one I'm talking about. There's this one that's autumn. Again, Sandy Orton. And then the ones that are in all the other seasons. There's a patriotic one. Like I said, the Christmas one. So if you are interested in doing those, if you've seen other people doing them and if you're interested in getting those, they are available on this website. You can see it just, so, and this is just the sampler category. I think that one's so pretty, south of the border. This one is gorgeous. There are several in this style. I am working on one called Paradise. There's another one called Lily that is absolutely gorgeous. But that one, the iris is beautiful. Oh, here's the Paradise one. I think I started this for one of the Mania ones. I didn't get very far. Obviously, it has the Hawaiian theme to it. I'll get back to it someday. And again, those are all Sandy Orton. Oh, here's the Lily one. Just gorgeous. Look at that. Oh, let's hit the zoom in button. Isn't that beautiful? Now, this is one of the ones that I did ask her for. This is called the Traditional Sampler. Isn't that beautiful? And again, another Sandy Orton one. Now, I have chosen fabric for this. Haven't started it yet. I hope to get some stitches in on it soon. But I chose, if you remember Flora Graphica and that brown fabric, I have enough of it to do this. And I think that will be gorgeous. I think the colors will really pop on that. This is the old linen, 40 count old linen from XJU Design. Won't that be gorgeous? So that's one of the ones that I got. It's a pretty Quaker one. 7 Spices Bell Pull. This actually reminds me of the one I'm doing. That's kind of cool, isn't it? This Rose Garden one is kind of a companion to the Beehive one that it was in Cross Stitch and Country Crafts many moons ago. Oh, if you watch Amy Loves Toads, this is the sampler that, or the piece that she did as an anniversary piece for her husband. So that is on here. It's a gorgeous piece. Dutch sampler. A lot of these you've seen people doing. They're all very popular. This is another one that I got. Again, Sandy Orton, and again, a very well-known one. This is all stitching over one. The people are stitching over one. Isn't that something? Ah, so gorgeous. So there's those ones. Let's look at, oh, let's see, flowers, because who doesn't love flowers, right? Some of these are designs, again, that were in the magazines that were like pillows, designed as pillows. This one was in one of the magazines at one point. Isn't that gorgeous? This one reminds me of a Tiffany window. There's, you know, these are all Sandy Orton ones. Love to do that. That is so pretty. I'm gonna see if my bell pull that I'm working on comes up in here. It should. This, I think, was one of the pillow ones designed for one of the magazines. Barbara Batts Hillman. That one's pretty. Floral band sampler. So this one I actually got a number of years ago. Jorge Hernandez. Look how pretty. Christmas Botanicals. Isn't that gorgeous? Do that as separate ornaments for on a special little tree. Yeah. Someday. Love that. This one's pretty too. It'd be a pretty little Christmas welcome type of thing. Seeing any that interest you? I bet you there are. The colors are gorgeous, aren't they? This one tempted me. Isn't that pretty? Nancy Rossi. Oh, that one's on sale. Ah, here's the Four Seasons bell pull. Do you remember that one? For those that have been watching me for a while. Isn't that gorgeous? So I think I stitched to around down here, almost to the apples. So I got most of the spring section done. That one has to come out and play soon. That is so pretty. So yeah, lots and lots and lots to choose from. Let's go to another category. Let's check out animals. Noah's Ark, several Noah's Ark. Boy, there's a full coverage one for you. That's gorgeous. Another Nancy Rossi. So pretty. That's pretty. And then, of course, this kind of thing just really catches my eye. Gorgeous full coverage with beautiful colors. Beautiful. Wolves and chickens and kitties, oh my. There's a close-up of a kitty. Just so pretty. This one's kind of cool. So kind of a rustic take on Christmas scenes. Oh, how's that for a peacock? He's handsome. Peacock in a pear tree. Let's go and check out. So let's check out the counted cross stitch. This is kits. Get a feel for what's in the kit store. Let's look at this one. All right, so your kit is, it's Bucilla. So 14 count Ada and the floss separator, so it probably comes organized in some way. Needle. So that's a Bucilla kit. Tropical vacation window. How about that? This is Jan Lynn. It's designed by Nancy Rossi. So some interesting things there, right? pretty Christmas window. Let's see, what else can we look at? Let's look at some books. Oh. Interesting. So yeah, lots and lots of interesting things to look at and go through on this website and to choose from. So like I said, 10% off if you use the code Cooler Hicks. So that's KOOLERHICKS, all together, capitalized. You will get 10% off your order through the end of the month. Oh, look, here's the old cross-stitch calendars. And I will put the code down below so that you can just copy and paste if you need to. So much gorgeousness. That is needlepoint. Let's see what we have under just needlework. Other types of things other than cross stitch. So I hope you will take some time and poke around. There is one other pattern that I got. Let me see, that she sent me. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, these ones are pretty. There's several like this. How cool is that? Kind of like a doodle cloth, a Zentangle thing. Here's some other ones like that. I was tempted by those, but I did not get those. This is what I got. Yes, full coverage. New England spring. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, just makes me want to start stitching it to get today. And again, PDF, so instant delivery. Gotta love that. You might recognize the little seashell ones. That's from the old Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine. Anyway, so lots of goodies here that I hope you will take some time, look through what they have, and give this shop some love, because she certainly sent me some love and was very generous with her patterns. So I am happy to return the favor and spread the love. All right, so I'm going to turn you guys around and we will continue. Okay, so just a couple more things to share with you. Most of that is goodies. Goodies for me and goodies for you. What's not to love? Okay, so one of the things I got this week, yarn. I haven't even taken it out yet. This is unique fingering yarn. This is from a website called earthfare.com, and again, I'll link it below. I've been getting their emails for a long time. They are a company that basically curates certain patterns and puts together kits. A lot of their patterns are shawls that use beads. They do have some jewelry beading kits as well. They have a tendency to choose some of the designs that might be a little bit more advanced. Lots of color, lots of intricate design, intricate lacework, beading, right up my alley. I haven't bought anything from them for a while, of course, because, you know, Hawaii, San Antonio, etc. And a yarn stash that, like, I could open my own store. But here I am, back in a place where I will be celebrating, trying to celebrate winter. And holy cow, this was in one of her recent emails. This is a pattern called Jumus. So they are wrist warmers and boot cuffs. This is one of the most unusual patterns I've ever seen. Oh, well, shoot. Sorry about that. Come on. Because of that fringe. You actually knit the fringe, like create it as you're knitting in the round. Fascinating. This is a Latvian style of design, both the color work and the fringe. And it's a Latvian designer. So this website, Earth Fair, had the kits exactly in that colorway, which is what this is. So it's unique fingering. This colorway is, Earth is the yarn company. Unique is the yarn. Color 3002, so they don't have a name for the yarn. So Earth yarn, unique fingering. This is the contrast. This is harvest fingering is the main color. Can't wait, but I have to, because what I will be doing with this, according to the pattern, got the pattern off of Ravelry, Jumus, Jumis, and I will link that below as well. From reading the pattern, you have to separate. There are 4 different sets of colors in this, so you have to wind all those colors into separate little balls. And then, of course, I'll have to wind this into a ball. So nothing will happen with this until I am reunited with my Yarn Swift. And, of course, all my needles, too. Which is fine, because I really would like to finish up the Ruana, the Wilson Ruana of cats before I start anything else. So, but I couldn't resist that incredible design. That is, again, right up my alley. I mentioned the other sampler that I am in the process of buying. And I forgot to show you a picture of it at the time. This is it here. It does have the name Annie Weymys, W-E-Y-M-S, and her age and the year, but no other information about where she is from. There's a couple of verses up there, and then all these wonderful motifs. If you guys frequent the, I can never remember the name of the Facebook group, Samplers of Yesteryear, Stitchers Today, I can never remember the name, but you know what it is. If you're a member of it, you know what it is. I posted this on there because I wasn't sure what this motif over here is. I could not figure that out. And once I saw one thing, I couldn't see anything else. All kinds of different replies, all kinds of very interesting replies, everything from a drill to a jaguar crawling out of the bushes. But one person said, in light of the other Christian motifs that are on this sampler, that it is probably a bow and arrow, because that is another Christian motif. And I could see that one. So that's what I'm going with, because the quiver is the blue with the little, you can see the kind of swirly end on it. I believe that's the feathers. And then this kind of beige colored swirl thing on top, I believe, is the bow. So that will get reproduced at some point in the not too distant future. Okay. Other goodies that I got, I mentioned my order from, just getting them in some kind of order. I mentioned my order from Wendy, from the Heart Needle Art. So in addition to Die Freitag, I got her other new ones. So this is a marking sampler, MB 1834. And then this one is so cute, Berry Blossom Sampler. Isn't that sweet? She does have a website, she does have an Etsy shop, and then of course the various and sundry, and I'll link those, I'll link those below, but of course the various and sundry needlework shops carry that too. I got my next set of needlepoint ink floss from Fat Quarter Shop. So again, this is the Fine Floss Club. This is August, and this is Banana Mania. And I have to say, you know, it's going to be interesting to see what I come up with for the November seasons of lace, because I could see some of these playing in there too. It's going to be an interesting range of golds. So I need to start designing that in August so I can get it stitched for an end of November release. Again, deadlines. I have plans. I have this all in my head. Usually it works. All right. This just tickles me to no end. What remains is love. So when Traditional Stitches put out the call that they were doing their 6th and final publishing of this design, if you don't know, this is an exclusive Blackbird Designs pattern exclusive to Traditional Stitches in Canada. I had been holding off ordering it until we got situated someplace. When we were in Arizona, I finally did order it, knowing that we were going to be coming up here soon and I could give them the address to send here and it wouldn't get lost in the mail. Well, one of my dear followers, Jan Penman, also saw, and Jan is in Canada, she also saw the call for the 6th and final publishing, and she bought me one because she didn't want me to miss it. Thank you, Jan. Great minds think alike, besides having the same first name. So what this means is that I have one of these to give away. So, and again, I haven't thought of any questions for my giveaways. Tell me what you love most about Blackbird Designs. Include the word Blackbird Designs in your answer. Don't just put BBD. Include Blackbird Designs in your answer. Tell me what you like most about them, about their patterns, and one of you will get that. Okay, so other goodies that I got, and these will all be giveaways at some point, but not today. I got a packet from Fat Quarter Shop. Again, their generosity just never ceases to amaze me. This is the Summer Stitch Quarterly pattern. Hello, Summer. Super cute. Another cross stitch, So Happy. And again, these will be giveaways down the road. I have another one planned for today besides the Blackbird one. So that. And then 2 quilt patterns. This one is called Whirlwind. Oh, that's pretty. Makes me wish I knew how to quilt. Not. I would say quilting is too fussy for me, but I cross stitch, so. And then Flea Market, which is another just gorgeous, gorgeous piece. So again, those will be giveaways down the road. They also sent me 2 packages of their Floss Flower bobbins, thread bobbins. Again, another giveaway. I will keep one. Haven't quite decided how I would use them. I'm not one to wind things on bobbins. So we'll see. Anyways, those goodies. The other giveaway I'm going to do, though, get that out of there, and I don't have, oh, there's a picture. Okay, is the Serendipity chart. Now, my Serendipity chart is the hard copy, really nice quality cardstock that they sent me to stitch along with them as one of their you know, people that help promote it, whatever you call us. So Serendipity will be one of the giveaways. So for this one, I've seen some gorgeous color combinations of this. Tell me, and I stuck pretty much with the original, but tell me, if you win this, what color fabric you would use to stitch this on. Whether you would stick with the original colors or whether you would create your own. All right, so I think that is all for today. Have I mentioned I'm going to be moving into a house soon? 2 weeks, 2 weeks. All right, so we have the 10% off your order from Cooler Design Studios. Again, I will be linking that below and putting the coupon code below, good through the end of September. We have Serendipity. What color would you stitch Serendipity in? Use the word serendipity. And what remains is love. Blackbird Designs. What do you love? What's your favorite thing about Blackbird Designs? Patterns. Again, use the word Blackbird Design. That everything, Nina? She didn't say that it wasn't everything, so I guess it was, except for the card. She's a pretty one, isn't she? Did I mention that when I get moved into my studio, I'll be buying something, some kind of print from Teresa? Life isn't always easy, but a positive attitude mixed with prayer and gratitude will determine how quickly we overcome difficulties. I'd like to think I usually have a positive attitude. Not always, but usually. And I like to spread that around. So I hope you get a little bit of joy from this video. I hope you will join me for the next one. I don't know when it will be. It will definitely be when I'm looking around. Oh, there it is. When I get the sewing box sampler done, I'll be doing a video. Definitely. So hopefully within the next week or two, probably, I'm going to say, I hope I will be doing a video before we close on the 30th, which means you'll have another video where you'll have to hear me say constantly, we're moving into a house. Until then, guys, I love you. You take care of yourselves, and I will